Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. As Nisha mentioned, I am the inaugural program manager for DEIB. Here at the Institute, we go further than typical DEI and we add the B for belonging. And my position is new to the Institute, and it really represents our leadership's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging, and making sure there are dedicated resources, including personnel, to really advance what are ambitious goals for DEIB at the Institute. So the way that our kind of structure is organized is we have a DEIB council that includes members from across the Institute. You'll see we do have a postdoc on the council who's also on the SBPSN co-chair. She's one of them. We also have a graduate student, but it's very representative of lots of different positions at all different levels from across the Institute. And then you'll see the bottom two photos that are kind of grayed out are Dr. Diane Klotz, who's our Chief Learning Officer, and myself. So we are non-voting members of the council, but we provide support, guidance, and it's really the council who comes together to set the strategic aims of what our work, and specifically my job, will be to make sure we are holistic in our approach to advancing these values at the Institute. So if you are interested in being part of this council, we do require the membership of at least one postdoc on the council. And when a seat becomes available, people are invited to either self-nominate or somebody else can nominate them, and then the council will vote on membership. And it's a 2-year commitment, but there's an option to extend to a third. So if this is something that you are really committed to, you're able to invest over up to 3 years of your training period in advancing these initiatives. So back in January, our president and CEO, Dr. Brenner, said that he wants this to be the vision for DEIB at the Institute, that we will be a model for how a research institute promotes these values and really be a leader amongst our peers. And then together, the council came up with several ways of meeting this goal. So one of those is that we really want to develop a more diverse faculty body, specifically increasing the proportion of women and individuals from underrepresented backgrounds. We also want to make sure that we're not just bringing people in to be here, but we are developing them to become leaders in the field. So whether that is postdocs, whether that's grad students, interns, or also our faculty, we want to make sure that we are becoming a hub that really infuses the biomedical workforce more broadly with diverse leaders in the field. We also have lots of educational programs here. We have a graduate school, we have postdoctoral training, there are a couple internship programs. In a couple months, we'll be launching our first postbac program. And so each of these programs has particular training aims, but we really want all of them to be leveraged to enhance our internal community and also engage with the broader San Diego community. As Christiana mentioned, there are lots of research institutes in the area that we collaborate with, and there's just a lot of talent in the area that we'd like to cultivate, and we're in a unique position to do so with our educational programs. And kind of following that vein, we want to collaborate with other research institutions in the area, which we call the Torrey Pines Mesa, to really have a larger impact than the small size of our institute. Okay, so that was my last one there. So those are our 4 aims. That gets whittled down into a lot of specificity, but this is the vision broadly that we will be advancing over the next few years. Okay, so I want to speak about another committee, or specifically a committee. We've got the DEIB Council, but that also works with the Education and Training DEI Committee, which is more specifically focused on the training environment and making sure that there are recommendations and strategies that can be communicated with the council that are specific to creating an inclusive and equitable training culture for our graduate students, postdocs, and other trainees at maybe the undergraduate and high school level, but really focused on grad students and postdocs. So grad students, postdocs, faculty, the dean of the graduate school is on that committee, and so is a liaison from the Office of Education, Training, and International Services. So similar to the council, it's a broad representation. And so they make recommendations to our graduate program executive committee and PTAG, which both Christiana and Aaron sit on, regarding best practices related to the training environment, DEI best practices specifically. They also sponsor DEI-focused events and learning opportunities like speakers. They collaborate with similar groups at nearby research institutions like the ones that Christiana mentioned, and really so that we can collaborate on our key initiatives. And they serve as a safe space for students and trainees to raise concerns and suggestions regarding DEI, and those get translated into these recommendations that the committee then offers to the appropriate groups. I did want to call out that you will hear from the Education and Training DEI Committee co-chair, Shan Yin, during the 1 p.m. Pacific time postdoc panel. So I think that's the first, or maybe second, I don't know. It's at 1 p.m. our time. And lastly, I wanted to share some of the events that are related to DEIB that go on at the Institute and really create an inclusive, warm, inviting community. This will continue to grow as now I'm here and I build out our programming. But what was really exciting to me is that all of this predates my position being at the Institute. So there was always a lot of fervor and investment in DEIB, and now that is being really catalyzed through the creation of my position. But before I even got here, there was a pride flag raising ceremony in June. We'll do that again next month. I'll definitely be coordinating with SBPSN on that, making that really fun. A couple weeks ago, we had our third annual Rising Stars Symposium, which is an opportunity for graduate students and early postdocs from around the country to come and present their research, meet with faculty, get some leadership development from Nisha, and consider, hopefully, joining the Institute as a postdoc. Some of the seminars that are listed here came directly from the DEI Education and Training Committee. Those are some of those learning opportunities that I mentioned. The top right photo is from Padres Pedal the Cause. So that is a local event that's held at Petco Park where the Padres baseball team plays. And all of the funds raised through that event directly support cancer research at various research institutes in the area, and we're one of them. So we have a team every year, and it's a great way to build community. Also, we have a summer book club where we get to meet new people and discuss a book related to some aspect of diversity. All of the ones that we are considering for this summer are either fiction or maybe memoirs, but it's a great chance to discuss these topics in a kind of low stakes environment, get to meet new colleagues, and continue to learn in a way that supplements what's being learned in the labs and what our administrators are learning in terms of their own professional development. So that's a little taste of DEIB at Sanford Burnham Prebys. I will be back to help Nisha moderate the Q&A session at 3 o'clock Pacific time. So if you have any questions for me then, feel free to ask them, or if you have them now, I'm happy to answer a few.